Have you ever considered that burning out has nothing to do with your work environment? July 8, 2023, Kansas City, Missouri. It was hot and humid. My body felt like I have applied Gorilla Glue everywhere. It was sticky. And I had rivers of sweat going down parts of my body I am not wanting to disclose right now. But none of that mattered because I was building the most amazing memories with my teenage daughter at a Taylor Swift concert. I've never seen her this happy in her life before. I can close my eyes and see my sometimes grumpy teenager transform in front of my eyes into this pop lyric shouting, sequin twinkling beacon of pure joy. And I savor every decibel of it. You might be wondering why that was so amazing. But about a year ago today, I walked for the very last time into my corner office with a 270-degree view of the amazing Alaskan mountain range. I stood there and I let the view take my breath away for the last time. There were a lot of things that I had been ignoring in my life, but these ones I couldn't. It all started by me being it. I was the mom, the alarm clock, the housekeeper, the cook, the teacher, the chauffeur, the sister, the friend, the wife, the executive. I was everything for everybody, and I was nothing for myself. I was so exhausted. It almost felt like this crazy man would come with a sledgehammer and hit my brain until it rattled. These migraines became my daily existence. But I just kept going. One day I was sitting in a very important meeting at the office, and I just couldn't ignore the itch I had. I needed to scratch myself. So I excused myself, went to the ladies' room, and what I saw in the mirror was nothing short of a horror movie. I had a complete body rash, face included. I am pretty sure my body was trying to send me a memo that probably read something like, what you're doing is not working. You're working yourself to death. But of course I ignored it because I had things to do. So I kept working as hard as I always have been. Until shortly after I found myself on the ER with actively bleeding stomach ulcers. Almost killed me. And after a couple of days after the surgery, I was home recovering from the internal bleeding. And I realized that it wasn't the migraines, it wasn't the rashes, it wasn't even the ulcers that really shook my core. But the realization that I had become the same workaholic mom that I swore never to become. And I had damaged the relationship with my children and pretty much anyone around me. So I was in the office for the last time, and I walked down the hallway to have this very difficult conversation with my boss. I had to quit my 20+ year of pursuit to the C-suite, and I was this close. But I knew that the only way I could recuperate my health and heal the relationship with my children was to find a new way of living. So I went on a journey to pick up the pieces of myself after the burnout. And I'm not gonna lie, I blame the company, I blame my boss, I blame my peers. But 20 years of mindset training have taught me that being in the victim mode was not gonna help me. So I did one of the things I do best. I researched. And I found the 3 keys to creating a successful life without burning out. And this is what I want to share with you today. The first key is really understanding why we burn out. And I like to call this conditioning. And for that, I want to use a very well-known system called the Enneagram. If you're familiar with the Enneagram, you know that there are 9 categories. And I like it because the way these categories are explained is very easy to understand. And I used to use it as a corporate executive to pull the best out of my teams and create harmony. So let me share with you a little bit of how intuitively I had already orchestrated to have a very balanced team. I had Caleb. He was an Enneagram 1, the perfectionist. He crossed all the T's and dot all the I's. Never had to worry about that. And then I had Sarah, the helper. She was always making sure everyone was happy. My boss was an Enneagram 3, the achiever. I don't think I need to describe what that means. I have Paul, an Enneagram 4, the individualist. He was always reserved, but don't be fooled, he knew everything that was happening in the room. Mark was an Enneagram 5, the investigator. Oh, the guy had questions, but it always brought up very good brainstorming. We have Brett, the Enneagram 6, the loyalist. I can always trust that he was going to get the job done. Jay was an Enneagram 7, the enthusiast. He always wanted to be one of the school kids. Of course, we had an Enneagram 8, strong, independent, assertive, go-getter, ambition. Yeah, that was me. And we had an Enneagram 9, Meredith. She was the peacemaker. She just wanted to make sure everyone got along. So, a question for you. Can you start seeing and identifying which of these categories will fit your life? And the reason I want you to start thinking about that is because I found later on that the Enneagram not only tells you your personality trait, but it actually teaches you why you became that way. What conditioning in your life caused you to adopt these behaviors? So I was very excited, and I want to illustrate how this works with my own type for the sake of time. So the Enneagram 8, independent, strong, go-getters, right? We didn't become that because we wanted just to show off. We experienced emotional neglect in our childhood, and that created the condition to survive this way. So it turns out that I didn't become a successful workaholic because I wanted to be a show-off, but because 4-year-old little Carmen still was seeking praise and recognition from mom. It's kind of sad, but life conditions every one of us to behave in ways that help us avoid pain and survive. So I was excited because I knew this was a great path to recover from burnout, but I knew it wasn't the entire picture. So one day, scrolling through social media, go figure, I found a chart, and it was a weird chart. Now, I'm a mechanical engineer by education, so trust me, I have seen charts. And this one was human design. And I was skeptic, I'm not gonna lie, but I was curious. And with curiosity, I researched. And then I found that human design is this beautiful system that teaches you who you were supposed to be in this life and how to get there with ease. And you have to agree with me that ease equals no burning out. So I'm like, okay, I need to learn more. And there are 5 categories in the human design system. We'll explain it very quickly to you. There's the manifestors, like Ray. And this group of people have these amazing ideas because they are connected to infinite intelligence. But they need other group of people to be able to implement them. These are the generators. You have endless amount of energy to go get things done. Then we have the manifestor generators. They get the ideas and they get them done. And I was absolutely convinced that was me. Then we have the projectors. They are here to guide other types to make things in the world in the most efficient and beautiful way. And a very small group of people, the reflectors, they're here just to be your mirror and stir up emotions within you. So I did the best logical thing and entered my information, got my human design, and guess what? I am not a manifestor generator. And as I'm standing there, surprised, humbled, in awe, realizing that I am a projector, everything made sense. Finally, I understood why I burn out so badly. I have been living my life completely in the wrong design. And I knew now that life, trauma, had conditioned me to behave in ways that caused me to burn out. And I'm here to perhaps pique your interest that life has done the same to you. So now the $1 million question is, how do I go from everything I know in my life, conditioning, to this beautiful way of creating success without burning out? And this is the third key that I want to share with you, which is creating a bridge between these two parallel universes. And guess what? You have to cross the bridge too. And in order to cross that bridge, you're going to need dedication, commitment, perseverance, and a lot of self-compassion. Because you are going to encounter obstacles. You're going to have to clear your mindset of years and years of conditioning. You're going to have to clear your body because trauma is stored in the body. And we don't have the tools as humans to complete the stress cycle. And you're going to have to clear your energy because that is where every possibility exists in your life. And I have discovered through coaching my clients that most people don't know how to start with self-compassion. And this is why I want to share this with you today. When you have time today, before you go to bed, I want you to think about the 3 worst thoughts that you have today. And imagine if you're having a conversation with God, source, your higher self, whatever resonates with you. Someone who unconditionally loves you. And I want you to hear with your eyes closed, what would they say about these thoughts? What things would they be telling you about these things that you're beating yourself up? Write them down and just feel the frequency. And that's what self-compassion feels like. And as you practice this, you will learn to have a conscious self-compassion practice. And this is so important because in a world where we are conditioned to wear a mask to survive, the only way to create success without burning out is to step into your unique blueprint for success with a lot of self-compassion. If you want to learn more about this, you can find me on my website at carmenbenton.com. Thank you.